AITA for getting someone uninvited from a wedding. My daughter is getting married in a month. The wedding is in a very nice venue, and my daughter and her fiancé have funded the majority of the expenses with generous donations from the groom's parents and my mom and stepdad. I raised her and her sibling by myself, and later had a son with their stepdad. Sadly, I have been raising him by myself for the last 7 years. Last weekend, my dad used the full N-word when he said that's what you get for getting involved with an N when referring to the absence of my son's father. To be clear, my ex did an ancestry kit that revealed he had about 10 African ancestry. He identifies as Caucasian but has an olive skin tone that tans easily, as does my son. I am white. I talked to my daughter frequently and mentioned how disrespectful he was to me that weekend. She confronted him and told him that any racial slurs would result in him being removed from the wedding, but didn't mention what I told her. He made the connection. He got mad and told us both that he felt deeply disrespected for us thinking that he is the kind of person that would use a racial slur at her wedding. Note this isn't the first time he has used this word or made derogatory comments. He frequently makes racist comments about other ethnic groups. After many texts asking us why we think this of him and how disrespected he feels, she told him he was uninvited because he is doubling down instead of letting it go or apologizing. AITA for telling her. I told him at the time it was racist and disrespectful, and to stop. I had no idea she would uninvite him. I was just venting about what a jerk he was being. He is mad as hell at me for telling her, and is demanding gift money he gave me when I bought my house 2 years ago. I told him to talk to the bride. It isn't my call. Frankly, putting this as respectfully as I care to, he can fuck right the fuck off. She's entitled to have whoever she wants at her wedding. She's also entitled to exclude racist shits who somehow think their racism should be free of consequences. Kudos to the bride for standing up. Your father called your son a slur, not just a slur, the slur. I don't even know why you were still entertaining the idea of having him there. NTA. Your daughter had the right to know what kind of man he is. She made the decision to uninvite him based on his actions, words, and refusal to take responsibility for his behavior. As for the gift, it's a gift. You don't get to demand gifts are returned. How dare you think he would be racist in polite society? Of course, he is only racist in the privacy of his home, as is proper. NTA. You did not get him uninvited. He did. His actions and lack of respect for you and for your daughter is what caused her to revoke the invitation. Ultimately, it is her wedding and her decision. And those were the top comments. Which side are you on? And hey, if you're enjoying this, hit subscribe. We post stories like this every week. AITA for telling BF's mom to stay out of his bank account. For some context, my BF 24 male and I 23 female have been together for 5 years. We have our own home and an 8-month-old son. BF's mom is the kind of woman who's always kept note on everything going on and tends to be controlling. She also works at the bank we both have accounts at. For years, even before we started dating, she's kept tabs on his account. He would make a purchase, and within a few hours to a day, she would call or text and reprimand him for making a purchase she didn't approve of. I was never one to speak up to her about it, despite me being weirded out by it, because I chalked it up to her trying to be helpful. To this day, she's still often viewing his account. However, in DEC 2024, I got a payout from a car accident that was deposited into the account at that bank. I used the money for necessary maintenance on my car and vet visits. She messaged my BF about a week later that I, quote, was going through the money awfully fast. This immediately pissed me off. To those that don't know, when you work at a bank, it's illegal and a violation of policy to view family members and coworkers' bank accounts. Because of these rules and an invasion of my privacy, I kindly messaged her and asked that she stay out my account. She left me on read, and I know she was talking behind my back to BF's family, but I needed to make a boundary. Things were fine for a while, until a few days ago. BF's mom messaged him and told him to make sure we got our car loan paid before 30 days. We literally paid it that day. At this point, I lost it. I had enough of this woman being in our accounts. I also messaged BF that night with the following: I understand she's just trying to help, but if your mom is in our accounts again, I'm gonna go to CEO. It's a small chain. She's not supposed to be in coworker or family accounts. We were specifically told that. It's an invasion of privacy. I know she's used to handling and keeping an eye on everything, but this isn't hers to handle / quote. I tried to be as nice as possible, but I was furious. She has no business being in our accounts when we're grown adults with our own home and child. BF called her the next morning, and she was upset at my threat to tell the CEO on her. Apparently, she's been helping out a loan officer and was given a list on accounts to contact regarding a late loan. However, it's her responsibility to uphold the policy and not access the account. She should have told this loan officer that she's not supposed to be in the account and had someone else handle it. Instead, she texted BF about it. I've explained till I'm red in the face that it's weird she's keeping tabs on our accounts. It makes me uncomfortable to have somebody up in my business that's not theirs to be in. BF doesn't understand how it's weird and says I'm overreacting. His friend says that maybe it's just their quote dynamic / quote. I call BS AITA for telling her to stay out of the accounts and finding it weird. Edit: I'm unemployed ATM since my job laid off right after my maternity leave. But I had split deposit that only put enough money in there to pay the loans. I had to deposit the car accident check into the account because my other bank, Capital One, wouldn't allow me to deposit a check over $5K. Edit 2. I went to the bank today to close account, but since I'm tied to the car loan, I can't close. But any money I come across is going into my Capital One account, and this one is staying empty. Secondly, BF talked to mom at the bank today, and when she told CEO about my threat, he laughed. Seems to be a bias situation going on, as CEO and mom are friends outside of work, and I'm just a joke to them. There's more underlying petty drama about the state of his family, but everyone caught on pretty quick that BF doesn't want to establish boundaries. Going to be weighing some serious decisions in my head the next few days about reaching out to FIG. I hate confrontation, but enough is enough. Why are you still banking there? Get your own account elsewhere and tell BF to grow a pair. NTA for reporting her. You should have done this long ago, but why TIA to yourself? This has been an issue for years. Why is your account still at that bank? There are tons of different banks, and you and BF could have easily opened accounts at another bank years ago. You've put yourself through years of stress and invasion of privacy for nothing. I am sure you have what you think are good reasons. They aren't. I don't even need to know what they are. They re not good reasons, they re just excuses. You legit want to fuck her up. Call the bank and complain that she's been accessing your accounts. BSA doesn't play. Banks lose accreditation. We were so strict when I was a banker that if we looked at any account we didn't give direct business in, it was a big no-no. Recreational browsing of, say, a coworker's account got you walked out. This isn't amateur hour IT. They can tell if it's frequent, if there is a customer interaction visit or phone call, so she can't lie. We had cameras everywhere. IT tracked us. That's how you get her ass out of your accounts. If you don't want to go nuclear, change banks. Report her, stop threatening, start doing. NTA. What you need to do is start doing your banking elsewhere. Up to you whether you make a scene about closing your account or just leave $5 in there for his mom to check on every day. You can control her. You can control him. So take control of what you can. Well, there you have it. Drop your verdict in the comments. And hey, if you're enjoying this, hit subscribe. We post stories like this every week.